Hello everybody, Jeremy's back again. We are gonna bust through another Ryusoulger toy review. It is our last one of the main mecha. This is Milneedle, this is the Black Ranger's mecha, and when we have this done, we can put together the Kishiryuoh 5 Knights combination, which is gonna be pretty cool. But before I tear into this, I just want to say that, I've been sick as of late, but I finished my college classes for the semester, so I have some more free time. And after this review, I'm going to bust out some Beast Morphers reviews for the Morpher, for the action figures, stuff like that. And I'm going to kind of talk about the series a little bit where it is now, because as we speak, it is on hiatus. The first 8 episodes have aired, and I'm going to give my thoughts on the series at this point in time. But I'm also going to try to use these videos not just to talk about the toys, but in the process of opening them, I'm going to talk about other subjects that are important to me, that are within this Power Ranger Super Sentai community. Hopefully you'll find that enjoyable. But anyway, so we're going to look at this box quickly. Again, the way this works is that you could have bought these figures in a few different ways. They released a version where it's all 5 together. They've released like combo packs of these 3 as a group, and then these solo, and they have one where it was just red by himself, and then blue and pink as a combo pack, and these solo, because black and green are bigger, so they take up a little more room. But again, a few different ways to buy to get all 5 of them. And as far as the box goes, as you can see, Milneedle kind of is more of a kind of like a spiky shield is really the way it's utilized a lot in the series. And then you just see all these different combos in the back. I'll give you another up-close look as I close out the video. But like I've said in the 2 previous videos, please check those out if you haven't already. I will link them. But the really cool thing about the Ryusoulger mecha is just that there's so many combinations, and you can even make combinations outside of the ones that are on the box, on the instructions. With these Lego-like attachments, really, there's just a ton of options for what you can do, which I'm excited about, because one of my biggest complaints about mecha over the years has always just been the lack of combinations, the leftover pieces, all that sort of stuff. So, the more variety and the more creativity, the better. And I think it's a good way to try to increase toy sales. I don't know if it's going to work in the long run, but it's a shrewd, smart strategy for what they're going for. Because if you don't know, I probably have mentioned this before, toy sales have definitely been sluggish with Super Sentai for the last few years, with Lupin and Pat Ranger being some of the absolute worst they've ever had. So, which sucks, because I actually enjoyed those mecha overall quite a bit, but it becomes one of those things where it's like you gotta do what you gotta do to make sales, and I mean that's a big part of why they went back to dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are kind of a virtual guaranteed sales in this line. So I think they're most recently their best sales in the last decade has been Kishiryuoh. The last dinosaur themed series. I'm not sure what this. Is this an extra spike? Why has it got a little warning label here? What's this deal? Oh yes. Don't step on it, guys. Don't step on pointy things. That's important news for everybody out there. So there's one of the spikes. And there's our last Ryusoul, or at least of the main line, until the 6 Ranger hits. I guess the other thing I want to also talk about is, for the Power Ranger fans out there, you've probably heard the unfortunate news that Puo Magasiva, Shane from Ninja Storm, passed away last weekend. It's tough, man. Like, for those who don't know me very well, Ninja Storm aired when I was starting college, and I was at a point in time in my life where I kind of thought I was done with Power Rangers because I didn't enjoy Time Force as much as most people did. I hated Wild Force, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I am too old for this show. I'm friggin', high school senior, starting college. Maybe this just isn't for me anymore. And so Ninja Storm was was the series that brought me back. I know it's very divisive. Some people love it, some people hate it, but it was always a huge thing for me. And the thing I always want to tell people is that, they haven't put anything out officially at this point in time, but based on the article, based on hearsay, based on, the way these types of articles I've read in the past for other celebrities, more than likely he committed suicide. I'm not speaking out of school here. That's just the way it read. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I apologize, but that's the way it looks. And depression is a crazy thing, guys. Me personally, I've dealt with it. I am on medication for it, and it's not an easy thing to deal with. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't really talk about it. They kind of just sit on it, and a lot of those people are very funny and gregarious on the outside. And the one thing I always tell people is, I just encourage you, if you have bad thoughts, don't be afraid to talk about it. The people that are important in your life, they care about you, and you're not a burden to them if you talk about it. They want to help you, and sometimes they can't even help besides just listening, but sometimes that's enough. And if you're on the other side of this, if you have people in your life that even if they haven't shown any signs, even if it's just someone that you worry about, or someone that you're like, hey, I just haven't talked to so and so in a while. There's nothing wrong with reaching out. Maybe there is nothing on their minds, but if there is, sometimes that little bit of reaching is all it takes. And I guess that's just the only thing I just want people to understand that it's not a weakness to hurt, and it's not a weakness to ask for help. It's not a weakness to reach out to people. None of that. None of that's a sign of weakness. You're not a burden on anybody. You're not overstaying your welcome. You're not interjecting when you shouldn't be. It's okay to just ask. Friends, family, anybody, just keep the lines of communication open is the only thing I guess I want to say on that matter. Anyway, I know it's a weird thing to talk about, but it's been on my mind as of late quite a bit. So yeah, I hope people understand that. But anyway, so we got our final Ryu Soul here. We got the black one. La-da! Black Knight. So, got the Milneedle sound, and let's... Blick! So again, the way for those who haven't seen before, with the individual, well, the thing with the sorry, I'm just blanking, but with the Ranger specific ones is that they just give you the color on the sword and they give you the mecha name on the morphers, the only real unique thing among each of them. Actually, most of the unique sounds come from the other ones that don't belong to the Ranger specifically. So that's just a little bonus here. Anyway, so we got our little, we got our Stegosaurus here, one of the cooler dinosaurs in my mind. And again, one that's never been belonging to a Black Ranger, so that's pretty cool. Got a tiny little head, tiny little mouth. Very kind of skeletal, actually. But yeah, got them points. Very cool looking design. Stubby little legs, you know, not big on the legs, kind of a little stubby. But again, a very cool design. Excuse me. All these mecha on their own, I think, have pretty solid designs. Anyway, so we are gonna bust out how this combines with the main mecha. All right, so how he comes apart. Got the head, got the top, got the back. This comes apart again, and it comes in two pieces. Front and back here. Pretty simple. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this as well as part of like a little cheat sheet. Make sure I got this right. Okay. So this is just the combination with black on the main mecha version, and then we're gonna, which is the Milneedle version, and then we're gonna do the 5 Nights version, and we're gonna call it good. I'll show you some of the other transformations, but we're not gonna go too in depth. Anyway, so the drills from the shoulder get moved to the knees. Obviously, take out the red head part. So these two stay here where they normally were, but we take the pointy needle part here and we pop it on the blue, and then we take the head part, pop him over here. And then the sides go here. Like so. And then T-Rex head comes off. It doesn't say specifically to put it somewhere, but if you're one of those that just likes to have every piece in a spot, you could always put it in the back. But it has it off for this main design technically. And then you take the tail part here and just pop him on the front. Oh wait, sorry, not on the front like that, on the front like this. Duh, obviously. So it's got more of the spiky part out. And then these parts just get held, I believe. Yeah, because the way this pops off in the middle creates two handles here. Which one's on which side? This one's over here. This one's over here. Oh, it also doesn't want, it actually doesn't want these parts on. Doesn't want them on at all, right? Yeah, it wants these off. Which is kind of necessary because this wouldn't fit otherwise because of the feet going down. And then you just take black, put them on the head like so. And there. I think it's another really cool design just because it really focuses on the spiky aspect of it. You know, it repurposes the drills for the knees. Again, excuse me. But it just got an overall really jagged design, which I think is very cool. And that's one of the best things about these mecha also, is that each individual combination actually has a fairly unique look. You can still see the uniform theme, but each one's also unique. And in the show, when you use the 5 Nights form, which we'll get to in a minute, it actually shows the other 5 variations kind of like standing around it. Each individual ranger's variation, which I think is really cool for the final attack. I just love the uniformity of the whole thing. And as far as other combinations, I showed you the tank mode before, and then there's just variations of the tank mode where you can just add the other pieces from green and black to build on it. So I didn't really need to show you those pieces. I'll give you a quick look in the manual here, but don't want to get too in depth on that. Anyway, so we're gonna get to the Five Nights version. Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's see. Here we go. Pop these off. Give me a blank slate start, so to speak. Let's start from scratch. With red as the main headpiece. Okay, so start from scratch. Here we go. First main thing. Which version am I using for this? Okay, so these ones that are normally on the shoulder for a lot of variations. Go back. Actually. Okay, so this actually is a little different because usually it's the back piece of pink and the front and the front piece of usually it's the two back pieces that are on the shoulder. This one's the two front pieces on the shoulders this time around. And then it wants the cannons on top of that, so we will bust out the cannons. So that's a little unique. Usually the cannons are on the arms. Beyond that, it also wants the tail part from green that can be fanned out and used as like wings or a chest piece. And it wants it used on the top. So it goes here in the back, right behind the head. Wait. Am I doing it right? Oh, it wants the front part on the back here. It doesn't want a full connection. It just wants a half connection. Oh, stay there. Okay, so fan you out like that. Boom. All right. So we're getting there. Getting a little bit of color. Getting a little bit of different variety here. What else do we want? It wants one of these green pieces down here in front. And let's see. Got to break green up into its individual pieces again. And so it wants the front half of green over here on the arm. Okay. Okay, now we're building a piece here. We're taking the back half of the black one, which was a chest piece, and now we're popping on the two drills on the sides, like so. See, it's got a three-prong connector. So pop those on. And then it wants this as a pointing out chest piece. See, in the other connection, it was like this on the chest. This way, it's pointing out like that. So it's more of like a cannon. Let's see. Next up, okay, it wants the sword with the saber-toothed tiger head, which is kind of the way it was in just the green mode, and that is used as a weapon to be held. Like so. Alright. So he's got his sword in his hand. And now we're building another little piece because we're taking the T-Rex head, taking the piece. Okay, what is this piece? Is this? Yeah, okay, so we're taking the legs. We're taking these two pieces. We're putting them together like so. There, it's connecting on like a shield. And then the T-Rex head goes in the middle of that as another weapon to be held, like so. That is a big old T-Rex head cannon. And so I think that's all the pieces that this uses. So I actually end up with saber-tooth tiger legs, half saber-tooth tiger legs, half stegosaurus legs, stegosaurus head, and its spines, and then the back half of blue and pink, and an extra green shield. I don't know if I can make anything out of these pieces specifically. Let me see quickly. What can I do? This is outside as a weapon. Boot, connect pieces, make a thing in the butt, pop it on. I don't know. This stop playing God. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Look at the spiky leg weapon machine. Look at that. Yeah. Woo! It's a homunculi. It's just sitting over there. Yeah, okay. Really, it doesn't want to use any more pieces. Huh. I feel like you'd want to use some more. So I guess that's all there is for that. And it is using the red head like that. Okay. So yeah, this is the Five Nights version. So again, it's a mixed bag. I like the uniqueness of the design. I think the biggest problem with these extra pieces is the legs. Is that the legs end up, how they kind of just attach to the sides of the arms in a lot of these combinations. That looks a little weak, in my opinion. And again, as cool as it is that you can use extra pieces to make new things, I would still rather them find a spot for everything than to leave a bunch of leftover pieces. Although at least they were equitable in the sense that all four of the non-Red Ranger mecha had leftover pieces. They're not just, because usually if they have leftover pieces, a lot of the time, it's just the female mecha, unfortunately. The pink and or yellow ranger usually gets the shaft in that sense. But yeah, it's a fun combination. This is a little top-heavy in some sense, although I think the way it utilizes everything looks pretty sweet. Love the chest cannon. The fact that it's got shoulder cannons as well. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty cool. But yeah, again, overall, I still really like these mecha just because they're unique designs, unique levels of playability. Not perfect by any sense of the imagination, but still a big improvement from a lot of recent seasons. Not all of them, but I'd say a lot of the recent seasons. So very fun extra design. This is our Kishiryuoh 5 Nights. And hey, maybe when the Six Rangers mecha comes out, when other mecha comes out, we'll have new fun combinations and we'll check those out. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say for you for now. And what I was talking about earlier, again, I just want to reiterate all that stuff. Crisis hotlines are out there. Please, Google is your friend. There's lots of stuff out there. People to talk to, people to message, even people, like they even have texting services if you're not a talkative person. And so people can just talk through text. They can just, just have a person to talk to. And as always, to Pua's family, rest in peace. He was a big part of my life. He was, as silly as that may sound, I know there's a lot of people out there who can say the same thing. It just sucks, man. It sucks that still happens in this world, but this, and it's, I don't blame anybody who does what they do. I know this is kind of disjointed tone for this video, but it's something I want to talk about, and I didn't necessarily want to make a full separate video. So hey, maybe I can balance the seriousness with the wacky toys. But again, this is all for Ryu Soldier for now. Probably in a month or so we'll get some more new mecha, and I'll have that. But until then, Beast Morphers Morpher, Beast Morphers action figure coming up. Thank you for watching this video. As always, liking, commenting, subscribing, liking, upvotes are always a big deal for me. Love, fix the algorithm, maybe do me a little bit of a service. Oh, sorry, I'm still sick. Still sick. But until next time, I am Jeremy, aka Captain Subpar, saying to you forever and always that I am going to be King of the Geeks. Now, I'll give you a quick little look at this before I hit that button. So, over here, you can see it down here. See, they've got using like black and green together as like double cannons for red, which is pretty sweet. They kind of like, look, it's kind of like you take the saber-toothed tiger and you use the needles to kind of make like a mane, so he's kind of more like a lion. Kind of looks like that's pretty sweet. And then an upgraded version of the tank, but still I think the lion's pretty cool. My favorite part. And then over here, you can just see some, there's the tank where they bust green on, and there's adding black to make like the full combination. And then here's talking about how to build the cannon. So, lots of variation, lots of cool stuff. So, Ryu Soldier, get on it, folks.